Hey, happy Friday. You know who I be. Um, it is, we're in October now, and yeah. I kind of just want to talk a little bit about intuition and following guides to our intuition, our inner self, along with the angels that perceive to continue to help us manifest what we want. The manifestation, the different ways of bringing about manifestation and what one truly wants. And I think half the battle is knowing what one truly wants. I'm a big advocate for that, because for a lot of years I did not know what I wanted in this life. I didn't know, and I don't know, it's like we're already pre-programmed to live a certain way, vast majority. Then we have another majority that lives the way they want to live, and they're able to be innovative and make money and all that, without having to have the 9 to 5 kind of like driving from place to place and being able to make money anywhere you go, providing a service or a craft that you might have, and being able to just travel, live in your car, stuff like that. I know I follow Missy Graves, I believe, is pretty big into that, and it's really cool to watch her videos and where she goes and what she does and how she survives in Canada. And me, I've been focused a lot on the music, going to shows. I went to like 3 or 4 shows within a week, which is a lot for me because 2 of them were on the weekday. Last night I went to see Cavalier Conspiracy and Fear Factory and didn't really feel like being there. I was kind of by myself, and it was just kind of, I don't know, I like to share energies when going to shows, I guess. And I think to help manifestation, you have to let a lot of the belief systems you've grown, or that, I'm just going to speak on me, a lot of the belief systems that I've made up for myself in order to move forward and not get distracted in what I'm supposed to be doing, and not spreading myself too thin, or issues like that. I've been guilty of that for so long in my life, not paying myself back for the progress or the work that I do put in for myself, and just to survive, in this 3D level. My dad helps me out once in a while when I really truly need it, and I'm very grateful for that. But for the most part, I have to work day in and day out, just like the mass majority does, to make my money, to be able to appease, to be able to go out and have fun, to be able to go to these shows, and people ask me, how do you have money to go to shows? It's like, well, I fucking don't. I live in a car and don't pay rent, so there's my extra money. Living in a box and not being able to do anything outside that box really is a programmed way to live, in my opinion, because you spend most of your time just working and a little bit of your time living in a box that has to have maintenance, that has to have this and that. I live in my rolling box, my metal box, whatever you want to call it. but I've been able to manifest my well-being through letting go of the past and not being judgmental on situations that have happened in the past, but also having boundaries, not going too far with people, places, and things that might be of the past, I guess you could say. And it's really tricky because our brains are so complex and we can really screw ourselves up on if we're really following intuition, following intuition, or am I following my will? Is it my will, or is it the universal, direction that I need to go, or is it just something I want to do because that's what I want? And I possibly don't need it. Because I feel like a lot of us get caught up in an idea, and we get stuck in an idea, and because of our past, and because we haven't done the footwork to release the past situations that have happened, it's basically, to me, it's like you got to wake up and you got to forget about, for that moment, just forget about the past. Forget about what yesterday was about. Forget about what 10 years was about. And focus on the now. And the only way you can do that I've been able to do, is just carry acceptance. When I carry acceptance, I'm letting go of the past. I am no longer allowing past situation, feeling, craving, whatever it may be, to control my now. And it's been working out great. It really has. I've been able to go places and hang out with people and not really, not really worry too much about anything, I do see things that upset me here and there, but I don't allow it to control my life because it's not my life. Even with close friends and their situations, it's not my life. I can feel for that person, I can help that person out, but at the end of the day, the energy that's involved in that situation is not my stuff to be a part of, just doesn't mix with what I got going on. But yeah, gonna go roller skating tomorrow day, just for the hell of it, because I haven't been since 9th grade, and I am a drummer, so I feel like I probably got the balance to do it still. But yeah, so that should be fun. Probably gonna hang out in the mountains tomorrow night. Probably be rainy or something, I'm sure, but enjoy some time. Enjoy the time I don't have to work. Heading off to Draper right now to go play music, which is my biggest godsend, my biggest thank you, Adrian. You lock it down, you let us come and play every week for a couple hours. I couldn't ask for much more than that. I'm pretty blessed. The manifestation thing, there's tons of exercises you can do to help manifest, but in the long run, it's just about you clearing that past situationary thought process that we are so adept to staying as our default, and allowing that manifestation to take place in that. For me, I think that's what manifestation really looks like. I have to accept the past in order to let it go and get that crap out of here. Always keep it filed in the back, of course, because that's what we do. We're human. And try not to allow people to get in your head or in your space. Do the proper maintenance, shielding, whatever that might look like to you. If you don't know, ask a question. What's the way to shield? But it's pretty simple, pretty easy processes. Nothing that I've done has been all that hard or difficult, and it's only because I've chosen to accept things, and I'm choosing to live without expectations of anything. I mean, yeah, I can make a plan to go roller skating tomorrow, but if something happens and I can't go, it's not going to be the end of the world. And I think some people get caught up in all that, and I get that. Maybe it's one only plan you had for the week and it doesn't work out for some odd reason. Simple stuff like that kind of leads to bigger things, in my experience. My experience has been, like I'm trying the 369, writing that for a month. Remaining to be in tune with my higher self, knowing what the difference between my intuition and my self-will is. Because intuition to me is guided by a higher self, whereas my self-will is guided by my brain, which is really not a good place for me to go half the time. My brain I can allow to flow and use when I play drums, and I think that's why it's such a great tool to use in order to let that ego out, that self-will out, so I can be refreshed, be grounded, and be more receptive to my true intuition of what I want to do and where I want to go. Moving forward in all the court things, everything is going to be wrapped up in November, so I'm excited about that, and will be off in December. And that's another thing. The self-talk and the talk in general that you use with people or yourself, I found can be very detrimental on what you receive versus what your manifestation is. Like if it comes out a little sideways of what you want or what you're looking to get, but also you have to be ready to receive. If you're manifesting things, you have to be ready. So what I'm writing about, I have to be ready in order to receive it, I feel. If it's not based in self-will, then usually it's pretty easy to do. It's not based on past things, and and when I'm not having expectations about the end result of something, whether it be hanging out at the shows, or going to a party at somebody's house, or just anything at all. As long as I don't have expectations, I'm not forcing anything to happen. That's a ding moment for me, because when I find myself forcing everything to happen rather than allowing it to happen, I mean, yeah, if I want to go to a show, yeah, of course I have to drive myself to get there. I mean, that's a given. That's a realistic given. But I mean, as far as like creating a situation where I am forcing something to happen, usually I have to go in my manipulation bag to some degree or extent in order to get what I want. And half the time, if it's not linked with my intuition or my true self, then I get something really strange or something I really don't want to deal with, because I'm doing stuff through ego. I'm doing stuff through because I'm allowing people to get under my skin, or I think I'm being judged, so therefore I move in a forcingly fashion rather than in a flow fashion to allow things to happen. Doing the footsteps to do something, or that's easy, but really tuning in to why we do what we do in general as humans. A lot of us end up not liking what we find out because we realize we have been programmed. We have been programmed to be modern day slaves, so on and so forth. And it doesn't really have to affect us in a negative way. If anything, it should be a motivator for people to manifest more of what they want. And I feel like most of the time, stuff that we're wanting isn't too far from reach. We just have to sacrifice things here and there, or put in some work, whatever it may be, to get to those places we want to be. The manifestation is a belief system, and the action that we put forth gives us a flow, gives me a flow anyways. If I can think about it and I got the means to do it, anything's possible. But being able to decipher what my true intuition is doing versus what my ego-minded ways of being are doing, and I have to make sure I'm not in that ego spot in order to make decisions that are more flowing and less forceful, and no manipulation, just effort. So I don't know, intuition, what is really intuition versus what is self-will, wants or needs. And every day I can wake up and have a new manifestation in mind to work towards, and that helps motivate me to keep doing what I'm doing in the fashion I'm doing it, because it's been great. It's been really just like a lot of aha moments for me, to where okay, I'm gonna do this, and it's not gonna be based in my self-will. Let's see what I get out of it. And usually, almost always, the results are way more than what I could have expected or even wanted. So it seems to be like the way to go. Find some rituals that you can do to get in a habit of manifesting those goals, and keeping in mind, because this life is so distracting. I feel like the little things I do to keep me focused on what I want to manifest have been just a godsend. It keeps me on point. It kind of keeps my mind in the right place to make the right choices, So yeah, so I'm gonna head down to Draper and go play some drums, post some more videos on our new creations that we're just, and this is all on the fly. We just freestyle, and I throw titles up so we can reference back to a video or whatever, so it's kind of cool. But yeah, have a great evening. Be safe, whatever you're doing. Don't do too much of it. And namaste, because the weirdness in me uplifts and appreciates the weirdness in you.